We've turned over more in the first month and a half than we thought we would do the whole year.
Over a couple of frothies.
Yeah.
Mate.
Throwing some crazy ideas out there, and he's like, mate, I reckon you should do it. I used to walk past a mass grave to go to school, and it was one of those things like you just still had to go to school no matter what was happening. Mum and Dad were quite clear about it. So yeah, it kind of builds you a bit of a toughness. I'm Australian as far as I'm concerned. I feel like I was born in the wrong place, to be honest. A lot of the older generation have brought that with them here, which is quite disappointing, and hence why I don't associate with anyone. Not interested. I mean, each to their own, do your own thing, mate, but that's just me. I've got a life, and my kids basically slapped me upside the head and says, mate, sat me down and goes, what are you doing, mate? You know, like, is this what you want to do? You're going to take this serious? Like, are you going to get your water well license? What are you doing? And that I think that was a bit of a turning point for me. It's made me realise that life's just too short and you've just got to grab it while you can. That's one of the other driving factors for me, is to be able to build, something where my family, my kids don't have to worry about that.
Welcome back to another episode on the Gold Room podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have a bloody legend in the studio. We've got Mirza Musanovic.
Oh, it's actually Mirza Musanovic, mate, but yeah, nice try.
Mate, I'm sorry. You know, look, I struggle most of the time with English. It's a hard line. Mate, look, thank you very much for joining me.
No, thanks, Josh. I really appreciate the invite, mate, especially watching some of your episodes and the calibre of guests you've had previously. It's quite a humbling experience to have you invite me. But I do got to say one thing, mate. I do prefer you without a beard, though. You look much better. You look a little bit homeless the way you are at the moment, mate. A bit too scruffy, you know. So
thanks, mate. I've actually the homeless call. I have actually heard a few people. I was at the WA Mining Club, and a few people said, "Look, Josh, get a haircut.
Yeah,
shave your beard off. It looks horrific." Fair enough. Thanks very much for your feedback, Mark. I'll take it on board and I'll do something about it. Maybe people in the comments will be like, "Well, actually, you do look homeless." Who knows? Mate, look, you have a pretty bloody awesome history filled with a little bit of bloody, your younger years in Yugoslavia and wartime. It's pretty wild. Definitely. Building up a heap of resilience. You would have seen some wild shit out there. Yeah. Certainly growing up in wartime and then looking at where we are today, looking at where we are right now in the world has got to be a little bit crazy for you, right?
It is. It's a bit of a catch-22. It's crazy to see what's going on, but at the same time, it kind of, I hate to say that I'm a bit cold about it, but it's more like you haven't seen nothing, compared to some of the stuff that there is out there and the people that are going through it experiencing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just more, you've got to keep going, no matter what. Got to keep pushing, mate.
Mate, that's so. Look, before we get into CM drilling, take me back to your early years, mate. Take us back to the life and the times.
Yeah, so originally I was born in Bosnia, mixed parents. Mum's from Serbia, dad's from Bosnia. I was the middle child of three. That's another story anyway, to being a middle child. But we grew up, had a pretty good childhood early on. Dad used to work away overseas and stuff like that. What did he do? So he used to do building, qualified butcher by trade, but he got into the building after the army. So Yugoslavia, as soon as you turn 18, it's 5 years compulsory army. So him and my uncle, quite a lot of family history as an army family. They did the army thing. Then they went on their own. My uncle was a police chief, also owned a couple of nightclubs. So he used to get up to no good. My dad obviously started in the construction, started working overseas. So like I said, we had a good life. And then the war happened.
1991?
92.
92,
yeah. So I still remember it clear as day. My uncle picking my dad up with his car with a whole bunch of guns in the back going, let's go. It's all going off. And 2 days later, we heard that my uncle had died, second day of the war. So pretty much the next day after picking my dad up, he was shot by a sniper in the neck, and that was it. So... So
how old were you at the time?
I was 92. I was about 5 years old, something like that. Born in 87, so 5, 6 years old. So it's quite a lot of vivid memories, even as a young child. Those kind of things, they never leave you.
Yep.
So throughout the war, I never really saw much of my dad. Here and there, he would come dirty, filthy, painted up, camo paint, guns and all that sort of stuff, just to pop in and say hi when he was close to us. Saw a lot of, concentration camps.
You were in one?
No, not quite. Luckily we missed it, that part. But A lot of people that we knew, a lot of families, a lot of our families, seeing people get killed, burning bodies. I used to walk past a mass grave to go to school, and it was one of those things like you just still had to go to school no matter what was happening. Mum and Dad were quite clear about it. It kind of builds you a bit of a toughness, but it also exposes you as a child to, you don't know how to deal with it later on in later on years.
How did you? Because I mean, a lot of people talk about trauma. A lot of people struggle.
Yep.
And mental health is a huge thing in the mining industry. What you're telling me right there, you've got a fair enough reason, or anyone that's had to be on the forefront of war, that's trauma.
Yeah, definitely.
That's horrifying, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
So how did you deal with it? So I got so many questions. I apologise.
That's all right, mate.
We might not even talk about CM drilling, mate. This is crazy.
Yep.
We will talk about CM drilling. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
So you saw all of this, and then how old were you when you came to Australia?
12 years old. We came 23rd or 26th of November in 99.
Speak English?
Here. No English whatsoever.
Zero English
when we came here. Mum and Dad had $1,000 Australian dollars in their pocket, and we just made it work.
Yep.
Basically, after the war, we didn't really have a place to go, being a mixed race couple. So we sort of.
So they couldn't go. Because they were mixed race. They couldn't live in Bosnia. They couldn't.
We lived in Bosnia for a bit. Then we moved to Serbia in Belgrade. But obviously, there's a lot of tension. So as soon as people find out, you were the outcast. There was a lot of prejudice towards you. There was quite a lot of stuff that we went through.
I know a Albanian girl, lady, woman, and she is still to this day. They talk about the Serbs.
Yeah.
So the Serbs and. There's like no love lost there. It's
no,
crazy.
There isn't. Yeah,
still,
that's why I've never been back since we came here in 99. Don't want to go back. I'm Australian as far as I'm concerned. Feel like I was born in the wrong place, to be honest.
Yep. Same here, mate. Oh.
Obviously there is a lot of that here. A lot of the older generation have brought that with them here, which is quite disappointing, and hence why I don't associate with anyone.
You're
like
not
that.
part of the bloody Serbian club or anything?
No.
Okay.
Just never have been, never want to be.
Yeah.
Just not interested. I mean, each to their own, do your own thing, mate, but that's just me.
Sure.
I've got a life and my kids that I want to
How old are your kids?
teach. 4 and 6.
Beautiful ages.
So, yeah.
And a lovely wife?
Yeah, lovely wife. Yeah.
Awesome.
She's probably the reason I suppose I'm still here to this day. 15 years ago I met her.
Where's she from?
She's from New Zealand originally. She's but she moved over here and
like we all do, mate. The good
ones. But yeah, we came here with nothing really and just built everything. I think a year after we moved here, Mum and Dad bought their first house, which we've just recently sold. And
what'd they buy? What'd they pay for it?
$86,000. Just sold it for mid 800s.
Nice.
So yeah, they've done all right with it. But we've retired them. Basically, we've been able to retire them a bit earlier than what they were originally planning and what
That's
they can.
Really cool.
So me and my wife have got 3 acres up in the hills,
Nice.
and we've built a granny flat for them on our block to come live with us, and so they can retire and just enjoy whatever their life they've got. Use that money to go travel and enjoy themselves. They deserve it. So.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mate, I want to take you back to you as a teenager. Come into
Oh,
okay, all right.
Yeah, right. Fun times. Well,
I just think like if you're 12 years old, I'm just putting myself into the younger years, and young kids are struggling these days. As a 12-year-old coming to Australia with no English, seeing all those bloody traumatic scenes before you got here, how did you cope with that as a younger fella?
Well, through my early teens, just sort of bottled it all up. WOG parents is just you try to talk to them and just Dad's just shutting up, mate. That's nothing. Just get over it.
He did go to war on the front lines.
Exactly. Losing his brother in his arms and that sort of stuff. So it does harden you up. Same as Mum. She had to deal with it all while Dad was, in the war, raising us kids and everything. So it does quite. It's a little bit of a hard one, obviously, to deal with or try to find an avenue of, how to express yourself, how to deal with that, that stuff. And unfortunately for me, I got, hooked up with the wrong crowd in high school and went down to drugs and all that crap. And, it was a fair few years spent wasted of my youth.
Yep. How did you go at school?
I was actually not bad at school. Did all right at school, but I just hated school. It wasn't for me. I did all right in classes. It was more like woodwork, metalwork, architecture, that sort of stuff, like CAD drawing. That's where I excelled. Mathematics and that, I did all right. English, again, it was learning. Still had to learn. But school just wasn't for me. I didn't want to go down the path of uni and that sort of stuff. I started year 11 and then just kept getting into trouble and got kicked out.
Yep. What school did you go to?
Went to a few. Went to first high school was Governor Stirling. Then I got kicked out halfway through year 9. Went to Swanview, got kicked out of there. Seal Jackson, got kicked out of there. Then Perth Modern for a little bit, and it was just I sat down with my parents and said, "It's still not working for me. I think I want to get a job."
What was your first job?
Working for my dad as a boilermaker. So I did my boilermaking apprenticeship.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was, I think, 19 when I finished that. And
Cool.
as soon as I finished, I think within a month, I was drilling.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who were you drilling for when you first started?
So I got a job at Swick Mining.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, so my brother was in the drilling industry at the time. He gave it a go, and I was talking to him about it. I said, I just don't know what to do, but I can't do the boiler making things. I can't work for my dad because we clashed, obviously, two-hearted blokes, and he was never easy on me.
Shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, and I've never had any of the guys that we work with say, "Oh, your dad's the boss. You've got it easy." It's actually they've had to tell him a few times to back it off a bit because he made me an example of everything, how you should and shouldn't do things.
Yep.
It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's just the way he was. And I suppose
You got a good relationship with your old man?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Awesome.
I love my parents. It was touch and go there for a little bit, all the things I was doing as a teenager, but it came out in the end. Mum and dad are always going to love their kids no matter what. I just had to learn, I suppose, to love myself and just accept who I am.
Well, mate, you've done bloody well. Look at you now.
Yeah, thank you. So then my brother was into drilling and just talking to him, and he's like, "Look, mate, you're a bit rough and tumble. You like a bit of trouble. You like a bit of alcohol and stuff like that." He goes, "Mate, drilling, you'll fit right in." And again, I didn't want to hand up, so I didn't want my brother to get me a job. I just started applying and got a job with Swick. I spent a few years there. Again, wasn't pretty. As a young kid, making a shit ton of money and doing what I was doing, didn't end well. I was made my fair share of mistakes,
Yep.
but I learned from them. That was the key thing that I've taken away from all my mistakes I've made throughout my life. I've learned.
Don't keep making them.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the same ones.
Yeah.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Exactly.
But if you keep making the same ones over and over and over again, it just means you're not learning.
Yeah,
you're not
that's
listening.
It. Yeah, exactly right. That's pretty much sort of where it led into drilling. Look, like I say, I can't say that hasn't been without its bumps in the road, my career, but I was just thankful enough to have a good mentorship.
I was just about to ask you, mate,
industry.
got any mentors out there?
Yeah, definitely. So I suppose where the turning point for me was of actually taking my career seriously. I worked for a titan in the industry, as you might call him, Tim Westcott. And I made a few mistakes while working for him, and basically slapped me upside the head and says, "Mate," sat me down and goes, "What are you doing, mate? Is this what you want to do? Or, are you going to take this serious? Like, are you going to get your water well license? What are you doing?" And that I think that was a bit of a turning point for me. While I was working at JSW with Tim. The other notable figure, I suppose, in my career was met Craig Nelson when I started 5 years ago at Hagstrom.
Hagstrom's growing. They're a huge operator now, eh?
Definitely, mate.
Are they owned by Parent? Are they part of Parenti?
No, that's a privately owned company
Awesome.
by Paul Musker.
Okay.
So it's been a privately owned company for 33 years, something like that, I believe.
Beautiful.
And Paul started on his own with one single rig, built it to what it is today.
How many rigs has he got now?
What has he got? I think he's got 4 RC rigs. He's got 6 or 7 diamond rigs, couple Sonic rigs. They've just purchased another Sonic rig, Eichel Camp. So that's 3 Sonic rigs they've got.
Do you know much about the Sonic rigs?
Yeah, mate, that's sort of last couple of years, maybe last 8 years. That's what I've specialised in and the path I've gone down, doing that and building a training program through ACA training with Pete.
What's the benefits of using a Sonic rig?
The recovery, basically, traditional methods where you're blowing holes with air or you can't recover soft sediments, overburdens and that sort of stuff with the diamond, or you go down with sonic, and the recovery and the penetration rate is incredible, and obviously the cost saving on your equipment. Believe you've had John from Edge here, who I started with down the sonic path, and he touched on that. It's just he's built a business around that as well.
Yeah.
And then I had the opportunity to jump over to Hagstrom and develop along with Nathan, their sonic supervisor they had at the time, to develop their division, sonic division, even more to where it is now. I was just lucky enough to have that opportunity. So, yeah.
Awesome. Mate, let's talk about, obviously, throughout your years in drilling, you've been able to build up a reputation. That reputation is probably something that's you've heard in the industry or heard from clients. Hey, listen, I don't know how you came about starting CM Drilling, but is that something that building a reputation early on is what helped you get this off the ground?
Yeah, look, I get to say I've made some mistakes and it hasn't always been smooth sailing, but I've learned a lot, and it was hard for me, I suppose. I always find it hard to try to channel that the right way into where I want to go. And Edge, that helped me a bit, and then I went to Hagstrom, and that was the next level. Paul's built a great team there that sort of recognises it and sees the people's potential and their passion, the drive that I have, and the love for the industry. And they helped me build on it. I can honestly say the last 5 years of my career is where it's really like I've narrowed it down to how to operate things, how to do things more professionally, also how to go about things.
Yep.
So building that reputation as well, it's been great. I suppose it's a bit of a realisation for me was when Pete from ACA Training approached me, who I'd worked with previously at JSW, to help him create drilling certs for the sonic drilling, and that was sort of something I took pretty serious. Did that. So that's a nationally recognised cert program that
Awesome.
he runs. Yeah.
Mate, let's get into CM Drilling. How did it come about?
CM Drilling. So originally it was CM stands for Chelsea Mirza, but it's turned into Connor Mirza, my business partner. So I've always wanted my own business, my own drilling company. That's never been a secret. I just don't think I've ever had the balls, you could say, to back myself and do it. I've always worked for someone else, help everyone, build their dreams. And just recently, we had a bit of a cancer situation in the family.
Oh no! Everything all good now?
Yeah, it's as best as it can. We're just still dealing with it. But it sort of made me realise that life's just too short, mate.
But did you have cancer?
No, not me. My mother-in-law.
Okay,
So she's still currently in hospital. My wife's there now. So that's sort of.
Sorry, mate.
No, it's all right. It is what it is, mate. That's part of life. She's doing all right. It's a bit better. But yeah, it's just made me realise that life's just too short, and you've just got to grab it while you can. Talking to her and my father-in-law as well, there's a lot of things that they wanted to do in their life that they never got to do, same as my mother and father. And so I suppose that was a big driving factor. And I suppose it's a bit of a struggle for all the kids to try to take time off work with the way everything is, losing income to try to spend time with her has been a bit of a hard one. So that's one of the other driving factors for me, is to be able to build, something where my family, my kids don't have to worry about that. But also everyone else in that is involved with us to bring them to that level so they don't have to worry about it. And then I suppose I was sort of talking to a few industry leaders, someone who I highly respect, Pete being one of them from ACA Training, and he just told me, yep, do it. A couple
Great
of the
time to be doing it. Mine's fair bloody pumping.
It is, mate. It's taken off. It's just incredible how far we've come in the last month and a half. But one of the notable figures is Craig Nelson. He's he's a drilling superintendent at Hagstrom, and I suppose he's had a huge part in shaping the last 5 years of how I operate. Like I said, touched on before. great man, knows his stuff, knows how to go about things. Some of the other notable figures there was Matt Miller and Simon, both from Hagstrom as well, ops managers, and Andre.
And so they gave you the good graces to go out and
Well, yeah, spoke to, obviously Matt's no longer with Hagstrom. He's at AMC Mud. Craig's still with them, and sort of I've just bounced ideas, and I've just said, mate, do it with your drive and your energy and your passion. You will succeed.
Awesome.
And that was sort of a little bit of a acknowledgement that I needed to just go for it. I was pretty upfront and honest. Paul himself, he knew from the very start when I started working for him that it's always been my passion and dream to own it. So spoke to him. He's like, mate, do it. It's obviously, it's a hard road, but do it. Yeah, why not? Give it a go.
Beautiful, mate. Tell me about Connor, your business partner.
Right.
How did that come about? You known him for years?
So I've known Connor. I met him at Hagstrom when I started. He started a couple of months before me. So Connor, he turned 18 and he joined the army. He was there for 7 years, Lance Corporal. So he left at 2022, and then a couple of months later he started with Hagstrom. But I suppose by his own admission, he was a bit of a lazy kid, didn't have any direction, and decided to join the army, and that taught him a lot about the way he operates. The control of his emotions, how to operate in tough situations under pressure, how to organisational skills. And obviously, when you're in the army and you're leading a team of people, you've got it's life and death. You've got people's lives in your hands. And he joined the army knowing full well that he probably would get deployed. And I suppose to me, it speaks volumes about a person that's willing to put their life on the line for their own country, and not being, being selfish about themselves. He started with us, or he started with Hagstrom, and then I started, and he was just an offsider. Sort of got talking to him, liked who he stood, what he stood for, and who he was as a person. That's where he met his lovely wife as well, Rebecca, and they've got 4 lovely children.
4 kids.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. So he's 28, 29 years old now. So
yeah.
They've just recently had their 4th child. Great parents. So their kids are sort of roughly the same age as mine.
Cool. And you've only got 2 though, mate.
Yeah, only 2.
Are you playing catch up?
No, definitely. That's it, mate. We're done. The first one made us want. The second one made us didn't want any more. So that's it, mate. So we sort of started hanging out a little bit, and Connor was someone we identified early on that, we wanted to bring him up as a trainee driller. At first, he wasn't really interested. He just, wanted to work and just make some money and go home. But slowly got into it, and we promoted him into trainee driller. Myself, Nathan, Mike, a couple of us guys from Hagstrom were quite involved in bringing him up on the sonic rigs, teaching him, bringing him up to D1, and so it's been quite short career for him. 5 years, been in industry, and has made it to driller quite quickly.
Yep.
To owner now, our co-owner. We started hanging out quite a bit, and they were coming up to our place. We moved up in the hills to our farm 2 years ago in July. So he started coming up there with his wife and the kids. My wife's she's a lovely person, but she just doesn't, she doesn't like people, same as me, kind of thing. Like, introvert. Yeah, that's the good way to describe it. But her and Beck hit it off quite well.
Okay, cool.
Kids are the same age as well. They're 2 middle kids, same age as mine. So the kids hit it off. They play really well. To the point where they were spending quite a bit of time up there and leaving at 9, 10 o'clock at night and then driving an hour back home. So they decided to move up to be closer to us. So they moved down the road 15 minutes, rented their house.
Cool. That's awesome.
We became really good friends from there. And then obviously I'd sort of
over a couple of frothies.
Mate, exactly.
How about we go punch some holes in the earth?
Yeah, exactly. So we were just, throwing some crazy ideas out there. And he's like, mate, I reckon you should do it. He goes, go for it. And then I suppose he got to talking to his missus, and he's like, look, I want in on it, mate. If you're doing this and you want to do it together, I want in on it. It sounds great, and this is the only opportunity I suppose I'll get in my once in a lifetime opportunity to do this.
Yep.
So we just gun ho.
Awesome,
both of
mate.
us quit.
Awesome.
Jobs, steady jobs, secure jobs. Yeah.
So what about services and offerings? What is CM Drilling doing out there for their clients?
Yeah, so at the moment we're quite low footprint. Drilling services are environmental, geotechnical. We've started off with diamond coring at the moment and auger. That's all our rig. We've got a little rental rig we've managed to acquire just to rent it at the moment. So yeah, that's what its capabilities are: mud rotary, auger, and diamond. But we've just placed a deposit on a brand new rig that's going to give us a bigger capability. So we're going to be doing air core, a bit of RAB, bit of RC. Reverse. Oh, it's basically like a conventional hammer. There's no sample coming. So where's RC? You've got sample coming out through the center of rods into a cyclone. RAB's just conventional, comes out outside return through the stuffing box. So yeah, we'll be offering a fair bit of that. Water well. So both I'm water well class 1 licensed driller. So yeah, we're probably moving to Sonic maybe later on down the track. But
do you have a little action plan for moving to Sonic drilling?
I don't quite know that we're there just yet. We sort of haven't even given it a thought because Sonic it's a niche market. You can make good money on it, but the initial outlay is just incredible.
How much are we paying for a drill rig?
Oh, the drill rig that we want and we would get is you're looking at upwards of $1.5 million just for the rig itself, plus the tooling for that specific rig made by the manufacturer. You're looking at another $500,000. Then you're looking at all the equipment. I think it's at least a $5 million investment. Then
add another $5 million in diesel.
Yeah,
to
exactly. Yeah, that's it, mate.
To get out to site, bloody hell.
Yeah, so I mean, and I think the companies that are out there doing it now, that they've got the market covered. I just think getting into it would be, for us being such a young company, I just don't think it's viable. To try to compete with such an outlay, you'd have to have a certain amount of income. And to try to compete with guys that are already established, that have got other rigs that can offset that, so they don't have to make as much of a profit on it.
Yep.
It's just not something for us at the moment. But yeah, definitely something that we'd look into future. Yeah, it's not off the table.
Mate, let's get into the reality of starting up because it's not easy, is it, going out there and just starting a business? A lot of thought, a lot of process, business plans, all the carry on, the financing.
Yes, definitely.
So let's get into that, mate.
Yeah, look, I thought it'd be easy. It's just hashtag send it. And then once we sort of got into it and we realised that we're sort of like a fish out of water, dealing with the accountants, the business side of things, setting up the business, doing your tax, your GST, setting up setting up your payroll, and then figuring out the fact that you've paid tax, or the person that you pay to, i.e. myself, and kind of we just take a wage from company. We pay tax on that wage, and then to hear that we've got to pay as a company a tax on the right to pay wages was a bit of it's a bit of a surprise, but it is what it is. I suppose we've had quite a good support system from other business owners. Quite a lot of industry experts that have started their own businesses, that run businesses, that have helped us out,
awesome.
Given us a bit of guidance.
That's really important.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Do you know what? That's something that the mining industry does very well compared to a lot of other industries.
Exactly.
People in the mining industry want to see others succeed.
Yeah, definitely. And a couple of notable figures, Mark and Rock from Envirotech Drilling. I've worked with them doing the Sonic training for their guys. So I signed them off through ACA. And they've been invaluable, mate. Just the advice they've been able to give me, the support, mentorship if I needed it. And other people reaching out, Matt Feeney, we used to work at Edge together. He reached out as soon as he found out. Says, "Congratulations, mate! Awesome. Anything you need."
I saw on LinkedIn, mate. There was hundreds of people congratulating you. It's awesome.
Definitely. So Paul, like I said, he was quite supportive as well. Which, I mean, again, it's a bit of a hard one for him. I understand losing a couple of you guys at the same time. He's got a business to run and protect, but he's still throughout it all. He was quite supportive.
That's really good.
Yeah, a lot of the guys, Andrew Chandler as well, the new GM for Hagstrom, he just come over from Edge. And again, the people that I spoke to earlier, like Craig, Nathan, Simon, Matt, a lot of the guys that I worked with previously, Pete and all that. So yeah, there was quite a lot of
You're
good
very
feedback.
thankful to everybody that you've worked with over the years. I can see that, mate. You're a genuine bloke.
Thanks, mate.
I really like
Appreciate
that.
It's a humbling experience. Like I said, I've made my fair share of mistakes, but that's the one great thing.
We all?
Yeah, that's the one thing that, like you said, about the mining industry, especially the drilling industry. It's forgiving. As long as you've learned from your mistakes and move on. But I suppose a lot of those people have seen my passion and drive and the love for the industry and me wanting to contribute and help it evolve and build on what it's already there. The great foundation that guys before me have done. So yeah,
mate. I know you're not You're relatively close, but what are you going to be doing in the way of attracting? Because the talent pool out there is she's slim pickings at the moment. Recruitment companies are saying we've got all these names on the books, but when they've reached out to them, it's reached out to onboard new staff to a different company. They're saying it's difficult out there. But what do you think you'll do when having to onboard staff?
Yeah, definitely. And I've seen it over the last couple of years. It's difficult to retain, difficult to get guys on board. Guys will come on board and then, a month later they'll get 10, 20 cents an hour more at another company and they'll just leave.
That's the craziest shit.
Exactly. They don't see the, the $10, $15, $20,000 that goes into onboarding someone, each person, and they think the grass is greener on the other side and they move on. But myself and Connor, we've got a very clear plan in mind, very clear structured of how we want to go about it. One of the things we want to do is we will be working on salary. So we want to offer our guys, all the way from offsiders all the way to supervisors, once we get to that point, is salary. So you might be working.
How does it work at the moment for drillers?
It's an mostly hourly rate, really. And some companies offer meter bonus, some don't. Some companies that don't offer the meter bonus, they offer a higher hourly rate. But yeah, obviously it's, as yourself, it's up and down, industries up and down. You might be busy, slow period, and you might have, especially with the type of drilling that we're doing, we might have a job that lasts a week and a half. A job that lasts 3 weeks. So, if we have our guys that, on salary, all right, guys, this is a 3-week job. You'll have your RDO after you're on your 14th day, do that. And then you come home, have a week, 2 weeks off in between jobs. Then next job might be only 4 days. So it's a bit of, what I've realised over the years is the banks, especially if you want to get a loan for a home, you want to get a loan for a car, they don't like to see that huge, constant up and down in your income. Consistency is key. So if we can offer that to the guys, go, hey, listen, guys, this is what we're going to do. Might not be all roses and rainbows all the time, but this will give you what you want.
So you'll do salary plus a bonus, or
that's something I was going to touch on now. So the other part of it is we're very clear about wanting to do profit sharing for the company.
Wow.
So every year or every 3 months, we'll set aside, we'll discuss an agreement of how many percentage we want to do, 10, 20% of the profits, whatever it may be, 30%, whatever we agree on. And we'll basically go every 3 months, 6 months, here you go, guys. This is the profits. This is your pool of profits from that. And that'll just
a little bonus structure.
Yeah, exactly. It'll get divided on based on service, length of service, your position in the company,
KPIs, safety.
Exactly, KPIs. Yep. So, and those two things, hopefully the guys for us will, want to do better, look after the equipment, get the jobs done. So obviously the more jobs you get done, the more you income you have coming in, the more profit you're going to make, the more bonuses they're going to make. Yep. You are going to get some guys that are just quite happy with their salary and then are not going to, push and drive, which is fine as long as they're looking after the equipment and that. But then obviously that's where you're going to have the other guys there that are hopefully going to be, we want to build a team that are going to go, hey, man, let's, we understand where you're coming from, but let's push a little bit. We're all together. So this is all benefits. Like the harder we push, you get a bonus. But if you're not pushing, we're not getting anything out of it. You've just, so I suppose accountability, getting the guys to be accountable for one another as well.
Yep.
So that's basically one of the feedbacks from clients that I've had over the years is, they'll get guys and they'll just take the piss out in the jobs and just prolong it as long as they can. So, if we say it's going to take 5 days, we want to make sure that it's 5 days or less. You're always going to have little bumps in the road that might go a day or two over or whatever it may be. But we want to try and minimise that. And the more jobs you can knock out and move on, the more profit you get, bonuses for the guys. So then the other thing is, obviously, I know you're a small company, but we have dreams and aspirations, and we want to do, a salary sacrifice for the guys if they want to buy a car, boats, whatever it may be. A little bit of extra work for us and our accountants, to process all that. But
and it's an extra reason to stick around.
Exactly.
Being looked after. That's what people want. People want to be looked after.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And if the guys want, hey, look, I'm struggling a little bit. What do you need, mate? Let's help you out. I suppose, and I'm quite forefront about this. I absolutely hate when people go, business owners, we're a family. We're not a family, okay? We're a business, but I will treat you like family if you treat me like family. Simple as that. We've got a business to run. I've got a wage to pay myself. I've got wages to pay for everyone else. So, we might be good friends and that, but it's a business. It needs to operate as a business. Us as directors, we have a duty to the business to make it run, make it profitable for everyone and get everyone paid and run it as it should be. But again, like I said, if you treat me as family, likewise, mate, I'll treat you the same.
Yep, treat others as you want to be treated.
Exactly.
Pretty bloody simple. Mate, let's get into leadership and your future vision. So what do you think makes a great leader? You've been through all these drilling companies. What are you going to be taking with you?
Compassion, understanding, resilience, bit of drive as well. Investing in your people is a big one for me. Just don't give up on them. I've had a few people give up on me, and that was fair. It was called for, at the time. Like I said, when I've made my mistakes. But I truly treasure and still remember to this day, even years later down the track, the guys that didn't give up on me. And they've, even though they might not remember it or it might not be a big thing to them, they've had a huge impact on me and how I go about things. So leading from the front as well, I'm not afraid to get in and get it done, get my hands dirty. I don't think I'm an office person full time. It's nice to be home with your kids a lot more, but I don't think I'll be ever.
Probably not in those early years, brother.
No, well, the next couple of years, mate, it's out in the field. But I think even when we get to the point where we've got enough rigs and enough staff that we can be in the office, or we can afford an office, I suppose. I don't think I'll be there. I want to be in the field, constant visits, getting out there, if we need to cover someone or something like that, more than happy to jump in. I can't.
You love being on the levers?
I do, mate. I'm a bit of a control freak as well, so that's maybe an understatement as well. Like, I can't let go.
So there'll be some people hopefully there's some people that are watching this and they're like, mate, that's a fucking understatement.
Yeah, exactly. Well, prime example, mate. I was on night shift and kind of was on day shift. They had something go wrong with the rig. I think I was asleep for maybe 2 hours, and by the time I woke up about 11 o'clock in the morning, my phone was going off. They had all these backwards and forwards with the management of trying to figure out what was wrong with the rig. I called Connor up, says, mate, just try this, please. So he tried it and figured out straight away what it was. We started making plans. The ops managers rang me up going, go back to sleep, mate. I was like, no, I can't, mate. It's too late now. Like, I need to get this sorted out, need to get it done because we need that drill rig spinning. And obviously the couple of hours previously before that was, in my eyes, wasted. So we just, I can't let go and just go, okay, well, you do it and hope for the best. I need to get it done.
Yeah.
So leading from the front, training, investing in our guys. Yeah, that's definitely a big part. Understanding that a big part of it is understanding that people have lives outside of work.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe, and I'm one of those people, is I work to live. I don't live to work. At the moment, it is live to work, but because I'm trying to build something, both myself and Connor, our wives are quite understanding that they're going to be without us for weeks on end, doing everything at home. But look, guys, they all work to live. I can't expect the guys on their break, call them last minute, go, hey, I need you to do this, and then when they say, look, I'm sorry, I can't. for me to get upset. It's just not right. I mean, or make changes without consulting them to their rosters. People make plans, months on ahead, same as I used to. Your concerts, family gatherings, whatever it may be. So I don't want to be like that. Definitely more understanding, passionate about people and their lives outside of work. So yeah.
Next 5 to 10 years.
Well,
Let's just go next. I mean, 10 years is a long, long time. Let's just go the next bloody 5 years. What's your plans?
Next 5 years.
How many rigs would you like to have in that time?
Well, I think 5 rigs, a rig a year would be quite a sustainable growth. 5 rigs, but never opposed to more. It's just if the opportunities are there. We've just placed an order for our first rig, brand new rig. We've only been going for about a month and a half. And we've reached our limitations with the rig we have. It's a great little rig. It does all right. It's got us to where we're going. And I'm looking at probably purchasing that rig off the gentleman that I'm hiring it off, because it's the rig that helped us start it all, I suppose, at the end of the day. So I want to keep that old girl going, probably refurbish it and just put it somewhere as a display unit. But yeah, we've bought a brand new rig, just gone through the whole financing process. That's a learning curve for us. It's all new, what's required and what needs to be done. It's completely different to financing a house.
Definitely.
Especially trying to find someone that is willing to, take a gamble on such a fresh company. I'm just fortunate enough, I suppose, that my best mate's brother is in the finance industry and he's managed to find something for us and hook us up. So, yeah.
Oh, mate, with your drive and your passion, and obviously having a great team, you and Connor, and being able to build a great team, that's what pays dividends in the end.
Definitely, yeah, mate. Yeah. So we're basically we have a client who's taken a gamble on us. There's a bit of backwards and forwards talk and a few ideas being thrown. Or what I suppose I went to him and said, what do you need out of us? What do you need out of your drilling provider? They gave us a list of things that they ideal terms and conditions. We went back, had a thought about it, had a look at it, spoke to a few people, backwards and forwards. We've come to an agreement and it's been great. We just, Connor's on his way at the moment driving. I should be close to Port Hedland at the moment for our next job up north. So we're going to be up there for 3 to 4 weeks. So that's our 5th job for this current client. Like I said, they've taken a huge gamble on us, but it's worked out really well. Yeah,
have you got your second,
exactly.
3rd, 4th?
Well, that's the 5th job. We've got another couple of jobs already booked that have come through. So yeah, it's worked out for the best for both of us, and we've turned over more in the first month and a half than we thought we would do the whole year.
Okay, that's fantastic.
It is, mate, and it's like I said, it's a truly humbling experience to have such great support and in the industry, and people that believe in you. So yeah, definitely.
Well, mate, look, I did say what's your plans for the next 5 years, but I'd like to get you back in 12 to 18 months' time. And maybe, we can come in and take some photos and some videos of your bloody of your new rig when it comes in.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, so that's I'd love to do that, mate. That'd be awesome. Again, we're sort of trying to concentrate on minimalistic, so one truck, one trailer-based rig, whether it be track on a trailer or a trailer-based rig. So, yeah, it's exciting times ahead.
Times, mate.
Yes,
awesome.
Yeah, so just trying to fit it all in while also do family, do everything else.
It's hard, mate.
It is.
It's hard, isn't it? But we make it happen. We make it work. That's the thing. You just, tough times, tough people. Some people don't like that saying, but I fucking love it.
It is, mate. Yeah, that's it.
True.
Tough times create tough men. So
bloody oath. Mate, so look, thank you very much for coming in and spending the time with me. It's much appreciated.
No, thank you, mate.
Awesome bloody story. Or the life and the times, that's why I love this job. That's why I love what I do. Because I get to find out about cool people doing cool things, and the drive and the dedication, the resilience that that's brought them to do what they're doing today. It's amazing. So thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate the invite. Again, like I said, the caliber of guests you've had on here before, mate. It's it's like I said, it's really humbling to be invited on such a platform.
Mate, not a problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for tuning in to an awesome episode on the Gold Room Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Comment, do some commenting, say something. Someone's going to reply to you. It'll be great. Thanks very much.